Today we are hanging out with my friend Chris from nichesafari.com, and we're gonna find out a little bit about Chris, what he does, how he got into this thing, how he's making money online. We're gonna find out all his secrets, and if you are, and most importantly, we're gonna answer your questions if you have any. So, if you're ready, vámonos.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Hey boss, what's up? Adrian Diaz here with Hasta La Vista Boss, the place where ambitious people like you, my friend, and Chris in here, we talk about how to create a side hustle, make it profitable, quit your job, become your own boss. How cool is that? Chris, welcome to Hasta La Vista Boss, buddy. Finally.
What's up, man?
Nice to have you on finally, brother. I've been tempting Chris on the live chats all the time. Join us, share your story. And finally, we have here to see how he's making money. Before we move on, of course, I want to welcome everybody in the chat, but as we already know, the chat is not working on my side, so I'm gonna fix that in just a second. I want to welcome Pete. How's it going, brother? Pete says there, the Beanie support squad is here. Save the Beanie. 20 years ago, the Beanie was struck down by a bolt of lightning. Today, we're trying to save the Beanie. By the way, I still don't have my glasses. It takes a lot of time now to book the eye test, so I can't see properly the chat. I'm a little bit blind. But welcome, Pete. Welcome, Jay. Fix, how's it going, brother? Kieran, Steven, and the Nomad Overseas. Tom, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you again. Where have you been? Come back to you, Chris. Let me know for people who are watching later, because I guess most of the people here in the chat know you. Let us know who you are, what do you do, buddy, how do you got into this thing? Where to start, huh?
I got into it because I moved to. I used to live in England, and I moved to Canada, and I didn't have any job when I got here. So I started making websites, see if I could make a go of that. And then some point I just decided I didn't want a job. I'd probably prefer to just keep making websites. So I've kind of got a little bit of a part-time job at the moment, but it's my side hustle. And this is the thing that's going to make me my money.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Where did you live in? You said you live in the UK?
Yeah, I lived in Newcastle.
Newcastle,
so
right?
It's quite close to Sean Mars, actually.
Yeah, how did you get with their accent? The accent is
I still can't understand it, mate.
It's terrible. I can't understand a word to say, Very, very strong accent.
Yeah.
I want to welcome as well. There's another Chris in the chat. I thought it was you, Chris, but there's another Chris in there. Chris Timpton, blogging for a future. Ahmed, how's it going? And CBD Cakes. Yeah. CBD Cakes says $3,000 a month. Hook me up, brother. So let me know, Chris, is this the first thing, the first thing you got into online marketing? Have you tried anything before? Or you said, in my case, I said, okay, I want to do something. And then I found shitloads of videos talking about how to make money online. All of them scam, of course. And then I found a video about on WP Ego channel, Alex, and then Cunnington and so on. And that's how I started. So the first thing I did was affiliate marketing. How about you?
My first idea for sort of making money online was to do a Udemy course. And it wasn't long. I was just trying to find podcasts on how to make courses and things. And it wasn't long before I realized that you can't get rich off Udemy courses. You sell them for like $5 each. And all these people were like, if you want to sell a course, you have to like create your own blog and then you can sell them for a couple $100. So I was like, all right, then I have to create a blog to get people to come and find out about my course. So I started making blogs. And then like the whole idea of making a course is like not even in my mind anymore. It was just kind of my gateway into making blogs. And then I think Spencer Hawes was my first one that was sort of like my main sort of inspiration. His niche site project 3.
Yeah.
Him and Perrin kind of teach people how to make websites, and that kind of super inspired me. And then I listened to Doug, and Doug got me into affiliate marketing. And John Dykstra got me into sort of trying to monetize through display ads. So it was kind of just like I started off wanting to make a course, and then I just followed the rabbit hole and ended up at affiliate marketing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, when I started, it was 2017 December or November or something like that. I started straight with Doug Cunnington, so I went through his course and all that. But then I went because I wanted more knowledge. I wanted more and more and more and more. I'm like a sponge, so I went and I watched all the niche site projects from Spencer Hawes 1, 2, and 3. 4, I didn't like it. It was not like very interactive, you know. We used to have these the students, and we used to have this chat between them. It used to be much more, at least in my opinion. You know, I didn't like number 4 because it was just a blog you go and read. I'm kind of the guy who wants to talk and you know and share ideas but that's awesome. Here says nobody overseas says the Geordies are a good bunch. I'm sure they are, but you know, the accent, man, it's funny for me, you know. I mean, I worked in construction. I work with Scousers, with people from the north, and they have so strong accents. Like when they call me on the radio, they say, "Oh, Adrian, call back, wait, call back." So what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Tom says, busy, school started again, so managing homework plus job again. Yes. So if you guys have any question, by the way, drop it in the chat for Chris. We're going to go into how he's making his money. Maybe if you have any questions about SEO, how he's structuring his sites. I'm going to ask any of this. I'm going to ask all these things, by the way. But if you have anything specific, let us know. Or why don't you join us on the chat here on the live stream and ask Chris a question directly. The link is in the chat. And let's get into a little bit more into your websites, Chris. So of course I know you have like 4 or 5 websites now.
Yeah, I've got 5, but only 2 of them are making me money. I started 3 of them about 6 weeks ago, and basically just put 5 articles on each of them and index the articles so that they can kind of crawl on through the sandbox. And, you know, when I'm ready to start working on them, they'll be out of the sandbox. But at the moment I'm working on the 3rd one. So it's 6 weeks old. I think I've got 22 articles on it now. I've got one writer who writes probably maybe somewhere between 5 and 8 articles a month. I've just gotten in touch with a second person to do a bit more writing for me as well, just this morning. So trying to build up a team of writers for that one.
That's awesome. Is this writer making the content for all your sites?
No, it's just for this. Like this 3rd site is basically my first site. Like my first site, I did everything myself. I did all the sort of outreach for getting links. I wrote all my content. And then the 2nd site, I wrote all the content, but I outsourced the outreach. And then for my 3rd site, I'm outsourcing the writing and the outreach and just doing the editing. So I'm like slowly each site, I'm kind of trying to outsource more and more and more.
Yeah.
Until eventually I just don't do anything. Hopefully.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
That's the dream. That's the dream to everybody who gets into how to make money online. At least that's what the gurus are selling you, right? Make money and don't do anything. You know, just drink piña coladas in Mexico or somewhere.
That's the goal.
Yeah. um, the reason I'm asking you about the writer is if that writer is writing all the content for the whole all sites. So I'm sure the sites are in different niches, right? They're not all in the same niche.
Oh yeah. No, they're totally different niches.
Totally.
I don't like. I pick my niches based on whether I think they can make me money, not whether I have any idea of like any knowledge of them at all.
Right. Do you want to expand a little bit more on that? Like, how? I mean, of course, this is a big question, but how do you choose your niches?
Yeah, so I guess like on my niche safari YouTube channel, I kind of just shown sort of my approach. Basically, I've got a list on my computer of like 500 different niches, and I basically just go through every single one of those niches, go to SEMrush and find on SEMrush like the top 5 competitor websites of each of those niches, and then do a site colon search of all the competitors and get all of their keywords and write down all of their keywords. So to do research into one niche, it'll probably take me a whole day really to go through every single keyword that I can find in the entire niche, and then do a competition analysis for all of those keywords to see whether or not the keyword's easy or hard to compete on. And to do that, I basically just put the keyword in do a Google search on the keyword and see whether or not there are low domain authority and low page authority pages ranking for those keywords. So for the example I always use on my website on Niche Safari is boxing gloves. So I do something like best boxing gloves for women, type in best boxing gloves for women on Google and see whether or not there are the top couple of articles are low domain authority and low page authority. I usually try to find articles that have got a page authority and domain authority below 20. I'll also try to do a bit of research into whether or not the main competitors are doing link building. So you can do that with Moz. You just click on the Moz bar, it says how many links are pointed towards the page. Click on that, and then you can see, it's so easy to see whether or not it's a natural link or whether it's been bought. And then if my competitors aren't buying links, then I'm in a niche where I think that I could probably outrank them. So I'll do that for say 20 or 30 niches, and then I'll choose the niche based upon, after that, I'll say, okay, I've looked at 20 niches. I've looked at every single keyword in those niches. And I think this niche, I can hit 100 keywords that I could rank for within 12 months reasonably if I was doing some link building and writing good quality content. And that's it.
Right. That sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think niche research is like the most important step. And it doesn't matter if it takes a month to do the niche research. You have to find the right niche, or else you're just not going to make any money.
So when you said you're not interested in niches that you can rank, you said, or you're interested in niches that you can make money from, right?
Yeah. So like, my hobby, the thing I do is I like skiing and snowboarding. That's why I live in Canada. But I'm never going to do a skiing and snowboarding website because I've done research into it, and I don't think that I could make as much money from that website as I could from the ones I'm currently working on. So I just choose one that I think I can make money from and just research the products and get as much knowledge as I can from the products and write about them.
Do you have a process or spreadsheet or something, a system that you base or you say, okay, this niche can make me money? Or how do you decide specifically for, I mean, if you go into lose weight or anything that's has to do with health and all that, you're gonna make money. But other topics, even for me, I'm interested now since I've talked to Morten. We had them on the show. We had Ron Stefanski on the show. Now you as well, you're talking about ads and all that. We're gonna talk about ads in just a minute, but I'm curious to know how to build a website that's just informational. I mean, most of my pages are money pages, like best this for that, this review, this versus that. But So I'm curious, how do you pick, um, or if you have a process, like, okay, this can make me money.
For informational websites only. I don't know. If you find
Yeah.
out, tell me. I for my one informational website that makes me somewhere between 1,000, 1,500 each month. It was my first one. I didn't do much keyword research into it, and I would find a batch of keywords, write about them, then search for another batch of keywords, and it was a broad enough space that I don't think I would ever run out of keywords.
Okay.
And it was just a matter of just exposure and spending a lot of time. I mean, Carl Broadbent talks about this as well. You just like, if you want to find good keywords, you just spend a lot of time searching for keywords while you've got keywords everywhere and Mozbar on to find out the volume and competition of the keywords. And every time you find a keyword, stick it in a Excel spreadsheet, and you'll always have keywords. So usually on my Excel spreadsheet, I'll have the keyword, its search volume, and then my estimation of the competition based on Moz. So I'll either write low, medium, or high. And yeah, I just, every time I think of a keyword, I'll search for it. And as I write an article, I might go, actually, I could probably write another couple of articles based around some subtopic of this article, or I'll be writing about an article and whilst doing research to write about that article, I might come across a competitor website, and then I'll do a site colon search for the competitor, find all of the keywords that they're targeting, and then I'll just put all their keywords in and see which ones I think that I could steal from them, basically. And it's just a matter of spending a lot of time just looking, searching, trying to find low competition ones.
That's awesome, buddy. Let me go to the chat a little bit, because we have these awesome guys here asking some questions. So Chris Tipton, blogging for a future, says, how much do you pay for outsourcing articles, and do you only hire native English writers?
Yes, I only hire native English writers. I've used iWriter before, and I mean, I don't know what the situation was, but it sucked so bad. I paid 2 cents a word for those articles, and they weren't even usable. So my current strategy is only go with writers that I find. So my first writer, he got in touch with me. He's someone who follows my YouTube channel, and he said, can I write for you? And I said, sure, let's do it. And he told me his rate, and I went with that. I was fine with that rate. And then I like having that one-on-one relationship with him, because we can talk about how we can improve my template. We can talk about how I exactly want the stuff to be done. And like over time, we can iterate and improve on my templates and make sure it's as perfect as as good as I can get it. So personally, I always try to find writers who I can have a direct relationship with. Now, the second writer, who I've just brought on today, so I can't really say much about him. I found him because I might have been the Niche Pursuits Facebook group. Every now and then in those Facebook groups, people comment saying, I'm looking for a writer. And then all these writers respond being like, yeah, I'll write for you. I'll write for you. I'll write for you. And this guy had a website where it was just like a landing page about how he
like a portfolio
will write for people, basically. And I went to it and I emailed him and said, hey, could you write for me?
That's all. But Chris as well asks here, how much do you pay? Can you give us a number?
I don't know whether I should. I guess. Yeah, that's fine. I'm currently paying 2.5 cents a word.
That's all right.
But I should say the reason I'm paying that, you talk to my writers about that, but I think that I can get away with paying that because I do a lot of the background research. So before I send an article to one of my writers, I'll have chosen the products for them. If it's a difficult keyword or it's a difficult product to write about, I'll have done a bunch of background research so that all they have to do is the basic, go onto Amazon, find out the benefits, find out the features, and then write about the benefits and features without doing much background research, so that my writers can just like fly through it real quickly. And I tell my writers that, well, I've got two now. So my writers, that I can give them as many articles as possible. Like I've got an endless stream of articles for them. So the faster they can write, the more money they can make, basically. As long as the quality is kept up, I'm happy. They're happy.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Chris. It's I don't think it should be any secret, how much you pay for people. I pay $10, £10 for 1,000 words for one of the writers, which is a student, and $16 per 1,000 words to a lady who has much more experience, and she's doing the content like exactly the way I want it, in terms of at least in terms of structuring the content, right? Like use bullet points. If she's doing roundups, she know exactly what she needs to do, and that's why I pay her more than the student. But do you have SOPs for your writers? Like, do you give them guidelines or instructions?
Oh yeah, I've got a couple of screencasts that I send them. That just go through exactly how I like things to be written. And I'm kind of pedantic about exactly how I want things to be written. So for example, for every product review I do, I'll have a quick review that's a 1-sentence review so that people can just see like a 1-sentence overview of our thoughts of the product. I make them, we all follow the same template. We bold the benefits, not the features, because we want people to, when they're scanning down the article, we want them to see the benefits, not specifically the features. So for example, if I'm selling a keyboard, I got all these ideas. These aren't my original ideas. They're from podcasts and things.
It doesn't matter,
Yeah. If I'm selling a keyboard, the feature might be a backlight on the keyboard, but the benefit might be you can type at nighttime. It's not a great example, but I would bold you can type at nighttime instead of there's a backlight on the keyboard, because I want to sell them why or how this is going to improve your life. So that's an example of what the things that I kind of really emphasize with my writers and my own writing to make sure that the copy is as good as possible.
Awesome. Steven says here in the chat, $25, $25 to $30 per article is pretty average.
Our articles, I pay on average $50 an article to my writers, because all my articles are at least 2,000 words when they get them to me. That's another thing I should say. When they, I only get them to write the reviews, and I do a buyer's guide and introduction and conclusion. So even once they've sent the article back to me, there's still another 2.5 hours or so of me working on the article to get it to where I want it to be before I upload it.
Right. That's awesome. Hey, thanks for your questions, everybody. Can I remind you to smash that like button if you enjoy this hangout? This is good for the algorithm. That's what I'm learning from the biggest YouTubers. So I might, if they do it, I said, let me do it as well. Maybe that really helps. So remember to smash that like button, not just click it, just smash it. A nomad overseas says, Chris, can you, hang on a sec, I don't have my glasses. How long are the initial 5 seed articles for each site? And then there's another question. Also, are they seller intent or info articles? Or it depends on the niche?
Yeah, it depends on the niche. It doesn't matter about how long those articles are or anything really. All that matters is that they're indexed on Google, because the minute you index your first article, that clock, that six month clock starts of being in the sandbox. And that's why I write those first 5 articles as soon as I buy the domain.
I'm going to bring someone on the show soon that is going to tell us how to get out of the sandbox in a month. But that's a secret. Okay. Hopefully he's going to share it with us. Can you share the Ahmed said can you share the sheet that have the 500 niche ideas with us?
Well, I originally was the whole point of Niche Safari, which is why I called it Niche Safari, was I was like looking for niches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was originally going to do an analysis of every single one of those niches. Now, yeah, right there on that screen there.
Yeah.
But now I'm so busy just writing my stuff that I might get back to that at some point when I'm less busy. But right now I'm too busy writing, and I'm not going to share that sheet because maybe my golden niche that's going to make me $10,000 a month is on that sheet, and I don't want to give it to you.
You know what's the thing? The thing is, I mean, you do this, I do this. Look, my website is this one. There's nothing on my website. It's just the homepage and the YouTube live shows, which again is just an image taking you to the live hangouts. But we're doing it the other way around. We should not write blogs now. This is not time for us to write the blogs. You know, it takes time, a lot of time, and that we should spend somewhere else, which is on our websites to make money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, because I mean, you see everybody, Matt Diggity, you see Matthew Woodward, and all these guys. They have these awesome and amazing blog posts because they have the experience and they have the time to do it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they can they can write, you know, for 1 week, just for one blog post because they have the money behind them to support, you know, just laying back and write and do your own stuff to share it with.
We'll get there one day, man.
Yeah,
Have
for sure.
faith.
100%. There's no doubt in my mind, bro. There's no doubt in my mind. Let me go back quickly to the chat. There's a few more questions here for you, brother. Where is this? By the way, Steven was saying that Wikipedia has a list of hobbies, which is a good place to look for niches. That's awesome, Steven. Thanks for that, brother. I'll definitely have a look. A Nomad Overseas says, do you guys have a soft copy or screenshot of the basic template that you could share by chance? A screenshot of the template of what? A Nomad Overseas? What do you want to know? Is like the instructions for the writer, or what is it? Apologize, I don't get it. Do you understand, Chris, the question? Maybe.
I think you might have meant my writing template. That's another thing. Like even that list of those like 500 niches and stuff, they're things that I might share eventually. I'm not in any rush to share any of these things. We'll see what happens.
Sure
I
thing.
mean, most of my templates are pretty straightforward. They're not that complicated. It's not a big secret. But I mean, to be honest, I'm not really interested in spending my time working on Niche Safari and things like that because it's not where I make money. So
Not
I might
now.
share it one
Not
day.
now
We'll
anyway.
see.
Not now anyway. He's gonna make later in the future. You know, depending. Like I was listening to Pat Flynn. I'm a big fan of Pat Flynn. He reviewed my channel as well, and he was saying that he was making before he actually started to build and promote his own products. He was doing affiliate marketing for 7 years. So there's no rush for us to build our own websites now. I believe that just with what you do with your YouTube channel, it's even better nowadays because we're moving into video era. You know, the blogs are there just for, you know, for another way for you to get found, I guess. But we definitely move into video era. So, and it's easier, I guess, for me, unless I'm a person who I need to see in order to understand. If I read, I need to read like 200 times. I'm that dumb. So, yeah, you know, just work on the side. Maybe in the future when you're gonna have maybe a list of people. Are you building an email list? I saw you have what do you call it? How do you call this? An opt-in?
Yeah, an opt-in page. Yeah, opt-in form. I guess the main reason I actually have that website is so that I have a place where I can get people's email addresses. Yeah.
Sweet.
And I mean, I'm currently not monetizing the email list. It's just like another one of those things where it's like, if it's sometime in the future I want to monetize this, then I've got a
For
springboard where I
sure.
can get started.
That's a
Yeah.
great way to see it. You know now, Spencer Hawes. I don't know if you saw, but he's doing another case study now, trying to like how do you, how was the word to bring to life an email list that he had for one of the websites that he had, like thousands of people in the email list, and now he's trying to bring it to life, sell products and promote products and all that. So maybe in the future, but it's good that you're doing it, if you have time. Pete says here, does Chris, hang on a sec, does Chris have goals or minimum to maximum targets for monthly traffic per article for info or commercial content to make them financially viable?
I have no idea what that benchmark would be. All I know is just like the more content you write, the more it compounds and the more money you make. So
Hopefully, right?
I did just do a little look at how many informational articles I have on my first website, which is primarily monetized through ads, and how much money I make. And I make about $6 per article. Some articles might make me $100 and tons of them will make me zero. But on average, I wrote 200 articles. I make about $6 on average per article.
Right.
So if you think like, I don't know, what's $100, you want to get $100 back per article, that's going to take you almost 2 years, I guess, 1.5 years.
Right. And what search volume ranges does Chris think is reasonable initially versus later in the site's development?
I actually don't care too much about the search volume. I do like to have it over 100 is usually what I look for. But the competition level is much more important to me than search volume. If it's low competition, I'll target it.
Right. Makes sense. I mean, if you find a keyword that has 5,000 monthly searches but no competition, you have a winner, right?
Yeah.
So definitely don't look too much at the volume, but at the competition as well. Like Chris was mentioning at the beginning, check with Mosbar. That's a quick and easy way to see if you can compete, or how much you're gonna need if you want to compete.
Yeah.
Chris likes to look at the DA. I like to look at the PA, because that will tell me how much straight away there. You see, if that page has 150 links, then I said, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. I'm out of here. But definitely, if it's a niche that I'm interested in, I'll go then in Ahrefs and see what those 150 links are, because it might be just pure rubbish.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've got this one article at the moment that is ranked number 7. It's my biggest money maker. It probably does well over $1,000 worth of sales on Amazon a day. So it makes me like $30 a day. And I'm ranked number 7 for it. So if I could rank number 2 or 3 for it, I'd be making so much more money. And the way for me to get there eventually is I'm going to have to get Ahrefs and find out how many good quality links my competitors are pointing to it and match their links. So basically do a link gap analysis. If I've got 3 DA50 links pointing to it and my competitor who's ranked number 2 has got 7, then I need to get 4 more good quality links to it so I can compete with him.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. There's a question here from Chris Tipton. I think Tipton. Redirect an old post to the new post and it will instantly get out of the sandbox as long as both articles are on the same topic. Well, that's not a question, that's a statement. I'm not 100% sure if that always work, Chris. I've
never heard it before.
Especially if you don't know what you're doing. I've seen people, I've seen black hats doing this. It's an amazing trick, and if you do it properly, it works like boom. But you need some money and some experience to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, these expired domains, they're not cheap either. You know, sometimes if you buy a good domain, there's people already, big people waiting there just to press the button to buy that domain. So you have to go to auction or somewhere. But Steven says, how to get out of the sandbox, use a pitching wedge. I'm not sure if that's a joke, Steven. I'm sorry, buddy.
I think it's a golf joke, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. That's why maybe I don't get the joke, because it's a golf. Carl is not here. Carl likes golf. Anomad Overseas, thanks for the good info, lads. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Again, guys, if you want to join us here, there's a link in there, and it's awesome to hang out with you. J-Bug says, hi, Chris. What's your favorite theme for a website?
So I use Astra for all my websites. I don't know if it's the best theme. It's just one that I'm comfortable with. I can set it up real quick. I know how to change things. So yeah, I just stick with Astra. It hasn't caused me any trouble, so I'm sticking with it.
Well, that's actually the best and the fastest. The theme that I mean, not necessarily Astra, but the theme that usually is the fastest, because you know where to change things. You don't, oh my goodness, how do I change this? Where is my title? Where's my feature image? it goes nuts. But if you're, we were chatting about, before we go live about my friend Marty McLeod, and he actually did a test comparing. He didn't share this anywhere, but we chat every day, and he says that Astra and Genesis, I believe it was, Genesis is a little bit faster, but when you actually put them on a website, it didn't make too much difference anyway. So those two teams are probably the fastest teams, and Carbonate. Carbonate is very fast. What's his name? I forgot the name of this guy who owns the team.
Oh, is he that guy who's a mate with Doug Cunnington? He went on Doug Cunnington show.
Yeah. It's that.
He owns the swimming pool website.
That's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy with the swimming pool. But he created this team, Carbonate, and it's bloody fast. It's fast. But the thing is, you need to. There's a lot of work if you want to change things, because it's just pure code. So. There you go, Josh. How's it going, Josh? Thanks for coming, and thanks for let us know. It's Matt Jovashinsky or something like that, his name.
Yeah.
Sue, how's it going, darling? Thanks for coming. Thanks for saying hello. If you guys have any questions, if you want to join us live, there's a link in there. A Nomad Overseas says that, yes, sorry, it was the discussion you guys were having at the time, talking about the template of instruction for writers. So I don't know, are you gonna share that, Chris, or
maybe one day? We'll see.
Maybe one day. That's
we'll
fine.
See if I get around to it.
That's fine. Maybe I'm gonna do a live stream one day. We're gonna go together through what I put in my SOPs. I'm not gonna share my exact SOP, because the simple reason is because it took me like 2 years to create these SOPs, and no one shared their SOPs. No one. I mean, I've asked in so many groups. I've asked only privately. Some people share with me, but it's so much hard work for you to create SOPs. But maybe we'll go together through how you can do one. What to put in them and all that.
Yeah.
Pete says, what plugin do you use to get Amazon images legitimately?
I just use SiteStripe. It's another thing about my templates, which is probably a reason why most people wouldn't want them from me anyway, is they're all just built through HTML. All my tables are HTML. Every time I get a SiteStripe image, I have to copy the HTML, paste it in, and I play with that a little bit to make sure the link wraps around the button underneath as well. Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of playing around with it, but yeah, it's just SiteStripe. I've never used any of those like, I don't even know what, like AWP and stuff. Never used them. I probably should try them out one day, but just can't be bothered.
That's awesome. There's a question here from Pete again. Have you tried other affiliates? Did they accept your sites? What's been your experience?
Yeah, so I have signed up to a bunch of other affiliates. Only one of them is making me money. It's a independent affiliate, so it's not through ClickBank or Share a Sale or anything. I've got a ClickBank account, I've got a Max Bounty account, and I may have a Share a Sale account. I'm not sure. So Max Bounty, I would really like to use it. That's CPA. So basically, you get like $1 every time you get someone's email address and stuff for a company. They seem like they would be okay, but for me, the one that I wanted was US only, and I'm in Canada. I wasn't allowed to use it, and I wanted to use it as a pop-up, and they wouldn't let you use it as a pop-up either. So it just didn't work for my current site, but I would potentially use them in the future. For ClickBank, my third site, the one that I'm currently building up with my writers, there are a couple of really good ClickBank offers within that niche that I will use eventually once I've built the site out enough. But I'm in the sandbox right now. I'm literally getting no traffic, so there's no point.
Right. There's here on the screen for those of you listening in the podcast, because this is going to go into the podcast, by the way, which is this one here, Hasta La Vista, anchor.fm/Hasta La Vista Boss, where, if you guys don't have time to watch this, you can listen to it when you do the shopping.
Check out the t-shirt as well.
What? I can't believe it. What?
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Oh man, it was a surprise. Oh man, I just had my missus going to the Royal Man, say, what the fuck happened with the t-shirt? It should be there like months ago. Oh man, that's nice. Do you like it? Is it good quality?
Yeah, it's great. Anyone who's interested in getting a t-shirt off Adrian, it's good quality t-shirt.
Awesome.
Fits well.
Thanks, buddy. That's awesome. Send me a picture. I would love to have it on my
sure,
images. Man. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna take the audio from this hangout with Chris, and we're gonna put it here, just like with the other guys here, with Fix and Marty and Alex and everybody on Stefanski. So you can listen it on the go. But on the screen now, there's this website called offervault.com, where you can find shit loads of affiliate networks and programs, and it's for CPA. I looked at this when I started the Telehandler Planet case study, just because I was curious, because I have another website that's in the lead generation space, and is for cleaning services, like window cleaning, oven cleaning, garden cleaning, whatever. So that site, I'm not sharing it publicly. It's ranking already in page 2, 3, but it needs work, and I don't have too much time. But if you want to lose yourself a little bit into CPA and PPC and other type of affiliate here, like this affiliate networks you see here, Terra Leads, Top Offers, Max Bounty, the one that Chris just mentioned. There's loads in here. Loads. I can't remember who asked. I think it was Pete. Let me go quickly to the chat and see what Kieran says here. Kieran, Merchants UK Homebrew, says, what does the sandbox do to ranking ability?
Yeah, do you want me to take that one?
Yeah, go on. I'll go after you.
In my opinion, well, in my experience, I've never been able to rank basically at all until 6 months. Mm-hmm. I know that there's a guy named Phil who managed to get 50,000 visitors a month after like 4 months, and that was because he did like 0 search volume keywords, just like super low competition. Mm-hmm. So it seems as if perhaps if the competition is that low, Google will rank you, but Google seems to be exceptionally reluctant to rank you until around about the 6 month stage.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's always ways for you to get out of the sandbox. You just have to learn a little bit of SEO. and how basically what this sandbox is. There's not Google doesn't recognize when you talk to them, going to the Google Webmaster Hangouts, or tag them on Twitter. They will not know what the hell the sandbox is, because they don't recognize the word. But it simply means that your website is brand new in their algorithm, in their index. And Ted Kubitis was saying something interesting about the sandbox. Ted Kubitis is the creator of Quora, very, very powerful tool. And he was saying that basically the sandbox is the time that Google it takes to give credit to the backlinks that you will receive. You know what I mean? So if your site is brand new and you don't have any links to it, well, you're not going to show up anywhere. So that's one of the secrets.
So you're saying that I
links.
should be building links to my site like in the first week so that I get out of the sandbox faster?
Yeah. And
Okay.
other
Give it a
things,
shot.
other things that are CTR manipulation, a little bit of that, and a little bit of signals, like social signals and stuff like that. That's what usually, that's what a real business does. So when I mean, you guys saw the Telling How to Plan is ranking is making some money, and it's number one, and it's not that there's not that long I've been working on this website. The thing is, when you build a website and you want to get out of that phase where Google doesn't know who the hell you are, what do you do? That's why they don't rank you, because they don't know what you are about. So building links, remember that that's how Google works. If you send backlinks with the right anchor text in back to your website, back to your pages, then Google, okay, so this guy is talking about telehandlers. Interesting. Okay, and then he receives some social traffic. Okay, so people are finding this guy, and now they go to his website, they stay on the website, they interact with the website. So there's a few things that we need to learn if you want to get that site moving faster. You don't have to wait 6 months. That's just, I mean, if you want to wait, better for me, because less competition. But
Matt Diggity's says a very similar thing. He's got, if you opt into Matt Diggity's like email list, he'll send you a blueprint for getting out of the blueprint fast.
he knows how Google works.
Yeah.
He's not Google might say, if you go and ask them, this work or that work, and they say no, don't do backlinks, that's Google, guest posts are dead, don't use that. Of course, what are they gonna say? So he knows, because he's doing shitloads of tests. That's why I like Mike Diggity, Kyle Roof, and all these guys, because they do tests. So they know they know why it works, and then they apply it, and they know, hey, look, I just made this website ranking number one, like Kyle Roof, who ranked that website with Lauren Ipsum number one. So that was just out of mind blowing.
The other thing I'd say about Sandbox is, I think it's probably good to think of Sandbox as a good thing, not a bad thing, because it's like your moat. It's like once you've passed the Sandbox, it's a disincentive for other people to start websites, because 80 to 90% of people aren't going to have the patience to get through the Sandbox. So see it as a good thing. It's the reason why this space isn't more flooded with people trying to make money.
Well, and another thing you mentioned in your video today is that, let me see if I remember, if you want to get out of the Sandbox earlier or faster, just build a website now, thinking 9 months from now, right? Just think ahead. Yeah. So if you want to build a website about mugs, right, then buy the domain, put the content on it, and let Google figure out what that site is about, because that's what it is. And then send a few links, build the social profiles, and the what's it called, the social fortress, if you want, that's how it's called.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be enough for you to, in 6 months from now, 7 months from now, go back and you know, take it from there. That's why if I would buy a website now, if I would build another website, I'll probably buy it. I'll probably buy like a very cheap one, maybe 10, 20 articles on it. I don't need any more than that. But that history in Google, you know, it has history. It's live. It's indexed. That's all you need.
Yeah. The only thing I'd be cautious of there is I'd go into the Wayback Machine and make sure it wasn't a website in a previous life.
Oh yeah.
It's been punished.
Make sure.
And I'd probably want it to have very few links, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to be in control of what links are pointing to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good tip there, because you don't know who had it before and what the hell they done with it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was part of Matt Digiti's PBN network. You don't know.
Exactly.
Pete says here, I've seen live sites using Carbonate and they were slow. The example site doesn't use images on homepage, but vector graphics and minimal plugins. Any stripped down theme will blast initially. I've seen the theme working. My client, the one that I'm doing SEO consultancy for, he's using that theme, so it's very fast. But personally, I like to have a little bit more control. And because I don't know how to code, I would not know what to do with that theme if everything goes to shit. And by the way, that theme doesn't have support. You know, so he sells you the theme and then you are on your own. Kieran says, do you use Tailwind Tribes for anything? And if you do, how do you rate it? You use that, Chris? Do you use Pinterest at all?
I have like a Pinterest account, but I don't post to it or anything. I don't understand Pinterest. I know I should get it, but I just don't know how to do it.
Just pay VA.
Yeah.
On Nomad Overseas says, Adrian, Overvolt have a whole section dedicated to phone call based lead offers. Not sure if it's of use with your telehandler site. You know, the thing with my telehandler site, and this is a tip for everybody who has a skill and you want to monetize it. The thing is that if you're already in that niche, you don't need to go to these websites where you're going to get less commission anyway. So you could go directly to the people. Like in my case, I went directly to the guy that I know who's doing telehandler training. Maybe if that doesn't work for us, you know, like maybe, I don't know, he doesn't like me, I don't like him, whatever. It doesn't work, then I can go to someone else. But yeah, that's one of the good things. You can go directly to the owner of the company and you can get good commissions. I mean, he's paying me £25 for each phone call, and if the client converts, he pays me 10% commission of the sale, which is the training is 1,000, 2,000, so it's not cheap. So it's nice money there. But thanks for the suggestion there. Same with theme used by most of income school students, Pete says. I know Chris is a very fan of school income. I know.
Next question.
Hang on, let me put the forward here. just like you did today in your video. Joe Mugaja, how's it going, Joe? Nice to see you here. Do you put ads on Amazon money pages?
I don't. I believe the people who say that you would make more money if you did. Just off the top of my head, I know Matt Diggity, for example, tested it out and he found out that he would make more money if he had ads on those pages. If I were planning on selling one of my sites in 12 months from now, I'd probably put the ads on it to get my sale price up. Mm-hmm. But for now, I'm not doing it. I don't have a good reason why I'm not doing it.
Right. Excuse me. That's all right. I mean, when I'm gonna get approved for any of these ad networks, I'll definitely have to try it. But it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you have traffic to those pages, why not? You know.
Yeah.
Chris says here, how many articles do you write before letting the site rest?
Depends what the site is and depends what the niche is. So, for example, for my second site, it got to 83 articles and then I stopped. I could have written a few more articles for that one, but I just weighed up the cost benefit analysis and just went that any more articles would be any more keywords that I haven't targeted yet would be too competitive. It was a very narrow niche, so I'd kind of run out of keywords. So I just went, look, I'm happy with it being at 83 articles. This month it's going to probably make me about $2,500. It's a pretty good project. I wanted it to hit $2,500 a month. I'm satisfied and I moved on. My first site, it's got 250 articles on it. It could have way more. At some point, I will go back and add more. The only reason I'm not continuing to contribute to that site is because if I'm making $6 an article, it's just not economical for me. I may as well just be off building more affiliate sites. And then when Amazon affiliate crashes, I might go back to it and add more articles. But at the moment, it's just what's the best way to spend my time. And if my best way to spend my time is to start a new Amazon affiliate website with low competition keywords, I'll go and do that.
Awesome. Chris says here that he personally write 100. That's a lot. I don't even have. I've been doing this for almost 3 years in December, and I don't have 100 pages on my site. So that's a lot. How can you write 100 articles? I don't get it. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe now I'm gonna write more because I have a writer with me. And by the way, I'm lucky that he knows how to use WordPress, and I just put my my outline in a post that's set up in draft, and he just goes there whenever he has time, and he just has to complete the sections, which is badass. It saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of me fucking about with, go to Google Docs, take it here from there, put it there. And by the way, I swear a lot too much again. I swear a lot today again. So we need to find a way for me to stop swearing.
We were talking before we went live about how we were going to try not to swear in this video, but
yeah, but
we lost.
I lost the count already on how many times. But Pete says here he would like to know what the hell is going on with you. What's your deal with income school? He would like to hear that. Maybe he makes a video about it.
No, I'm not going to. They'll probably sue me or something.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, he's a lawyer. One of them is a lawyer.
Exactly. Watch what I say.
And one of my friends said that's not even. Should I say? That's not even like a good lawyer. The diploma that he has on the wall. But I don't care. I mean, I'm not a fan. I just don't follow them. Don't have anything against them.
I'll say the people who I respect in this space are people who have data-based opinions, or they share things based on data. I also respect people who don't. How do I diplomatically say this?
Don't worry about it. Fuck it. Just say it.
I feel as if there are other people out there who can provide more information that is. Oh man, I don't know how to say this without being rude.
Just be rude,
so,
man.
for example,
no one is gonna listen to this anyway.
It's too simplistic to say don't build backlinks.
Yeah,
backlinks work, and if you are not building backlinks, you're putting your head in the sand. And I feel as if that so many people who are big followers of Income School are so aggressively against anyone who builds backlinks and thinks it's the person who builds backlinks is like immoral or something for building backlinks. Backlinks work. It's not illegal to build backlinks. It's against Google's terms of service. The worst thing that can happen is Google de-indexes your website. you're not going to get in any legal trouble for having backlinks.
And by
so
the way,
just
that's
telling people,
and by the
well,
way,
you
that's
can-
the worst case scenario.
Yeah. So just telling people don't build backlinks, it's making someone who is just a brand new beginner start with one hand tied behind their back. And I think that that's not the right thing that you should say to a beginner. You should be honest with them. The other thing is they often say that, I shouldn't say you should be honest with them. I'm sure that they're being honest themselves. They believe what they're saying.
That's what they believe, right?
I'm not saying that they're being dishonest.
Yeah, that's their position.
Yeah. It's just not my position.
Right, right.
And the other thing is keyword research. I believe keyword research works. And just because keyword research tools are flawed, you shouldn't throw them out. I feel as if that's kind of, my position is that that's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And if you understand why keyword research, keyword tools, like finding out the volume and competition of those tools, if you understand how they work and what their flaws are, then you can use them more effectively. But just telling people not to do keyword research, again, I feel as if from my approach, that is also just sort of putting another hand behind your back. So I feel as if a lot of people who follow the income school approach, which is not my approach, are starting at more of a disadvantage than they have to start at. And if you
I'm
follow
wondering how
people
many,
like
I'm
Authority
wondering how
Hacker,
many,
for example,
yeah, go on.
they're way better.
Sorry. I was about to say, I'm wondering how many really successful students they have, like really successful, not just making a few $100.
I'm sure you could succeed from their approach. And I'm not saying that they're like disingenuous or anything like that. Like, go for it. All respect to them to do what they're doing. It's just not my approach, and that's my, I've got different opinions.
Right, makes sense. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. There's this fight that's been going on. I mean, in quotes, it's not a fight, but between black hat and white hat techniques. The white hats, they're the one that they kiss Google asses, and the black hats are doing the things that work. They don't believe anything that Google said. They go and test. They're not afraid to blow shit up, and they find out what things works. But everybody has their opinion. That's fine.
Yeah. And I just want to reinforce that I'm not trying to slander income school at all. I just have a different approach to them. So
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dantes, how's it going? Thanks for being here. And thanks for a question. He says, what's the process to pump up so many articles? Like, probably what's your process of do the keyword research, putting the outline together, send it to the writer. Is that what you do?
So my process is I'll send my writer usually a batch that's usually just basically the next silo or content cluster. I'll research the entire content cluster, make sure that there's enough information out there to write about the articles, and make sure it's it's competitive, that I could compete for those terms. And then I'll send them a batch of 5 or 6 articles and say, send them back to me in 2 weeks. And then I'll send them another batch. And I'll pay them and then send them another batch.
Awesome. Talking about the content clusters, I've seen many people asking this question. Do you put a cluster of keywords in one category, in one post category, or how do you organize them in terms of site structure? How do you put them? Where do you put them? How do you organize them?
Yeah, so I cluster all of my articles for one. Say I'm doing a cluster on the best boxing gloves.
Right.
I've got best boxing gloves for women, for men, for beginners, for sparring, for all sorts of different fights. And then say I've got 7 articles on best boxing gloves for X, Y, Z. I'll put them all together as a cluster, link them to one another, and then I will usually creates another equivalent amount of supporting articles. So if there's 7 best X for Y articles, I'll create maybe 7 info articles around them. All the info articles point to all of the buyer articles, but the buyer articles don't point back out. And then at the top of that cluster is one article that is linked to from the homepage of my site, and it will link to every single article in that cluster. So essentially I've got this one cluster where all the links go from a maximum of 2 links from the homepage.
Right.
And they all just kind of feed into each other, and every link ends up at a buyer article. I don't know whether or not silos work in terms of improving your rankings. I have no idea, but I do it because it feels clean and because people like Kyle Roof, who are much smarter than me, do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. The silos work. It doesn't matter if you do it like a virtual silo or how do you call it? Physical silo. They work because Google likes to see a very nice organized website, and by having these clusters and linking back to each other and interlinked between them, you make Google understand. Remember, like I was saying earlier, if you the anchor text that points to each page, it makes you topic relevant for that topic, right? So that's why that. But I was just curious to know how you do it. Maybe someone here in the chat as well was curious, so we saved one question. Let me go back to the chat. There's a few questions here. Personally, okay. Oh, so Chris Tipton has been doing this for a long time. 2007. Wow, that's a lot of time. How's your story? What's your story, Chris? I mean, are you your own boss, or you are like Chris and I here? We are still in the trenches, hustling. By the way, Chris, before I move forward, it's been 1 hour and 10 minutes. This is awesome. Do you want to stay a little bit longer?
Yeah, I can hang out, man.
Yeah, sweet. So maybe make it another 20 minutes if you don't mind, because I can see people are still dropping questions in here, which is awesome. Thank you very much. I love you all, bosses. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you're enjoying this content, that's awesome. Share it with your friends. I will really appreciate you, boss. Thank you. So Anomad Overseas says, Chris, what's your target regular monthly income before you slow down a bit and put the feed up for a while?
I don't think I'm going to slow down. I've got two targets. My first target is to hit up $10,000 a month. Or maybe 15. We'll see how greedy I get. And then that's good with Amazon affiliate. And then at some point I will pivot and just do straight up display ads and try to get to $10,000 a month just with display ads, because I think display ads are more of a long-term play. Once I've done that, I'll probably start selling my Amazon affiliate sites, and I'll probably just keep building affiliate sites and selling them until I'm own a mansion.
No, that's actually.
But who knows? I might this month might be the most money I ever make, and I might go downhill from here. It's like there's no guarantee.
You never know. Of course, we like to think positively because we are conquerors. We want to conquer and do. We want to become this, right? Our own boss. And but you are on the right track, bro. Definitely, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get to your goal. Maybe it's gonna take you 3 months, 7 months, 17 months. I don't know, but you are on the right track. It doesn't matter. I was actually thinking to make a video about this because many people, they get obsessed, they get stressed, they get burned out, and then they quit. But don't compare yourself to anybody. Just do it at your own pace. I'm almost 3 years into this thing, and I'm not free yet. So, it's Chris is doing much more money than I do, and he's doing it for less. I think you're doing it less than. When did you start it, Chris? Did you remember?
January 2019.
There you go. So just take your time, and probably if you're doing it, you're gonna find out that you're gonna like other things. Like I like doing videos, and I like doing hangouts, and I like to network with people. Maybe that's something that is gonna lead me into something else. I don't know, right? So, but keep doing it, keep hustling. That's very, very important. And by the way, greed is good, Chris. There's nothing wrong with being greedy. Just work hard, and then you're gonna build your team, and then you're gonna put your feet up if you want.
Yeah, I think my main concern would be it could all collapse tomorrow.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
the reason I would want to keep making money, even if I had like a nice, comfortable monthly income, is because I'd want to have another passive income, maybe put it in shares and get the shares to be paying out dividends.
Smart.
Yeah, because
smart.
I still wouldn't feel comfortable just making money off websites.
No. I mean, that's my vision. I'm gonna maybe if you want to share your big vision if you want, but my big vision is to make money online and then funnel all that money into tangible properties, like properties. If you watch my income streams, my income report, sorry, I have a property, and fingers crossed, I'm getting the second one by the end of the year. So that's the dream. Take the money from online, invest it into something that's more tangible, is more secure, and then keep doing it, and that's how you're gonna generate wealth. And at some point, you're gonna put that feet up and enjoy. We're gonna go all together in Mexico, and we're gonna have mojitos. Viva Mexico, cabrones. A nomad overseas says, Chris, be careful what he say. You woke up one morning at the with the income school guys at the door with the dirt bikes and arrows and bows. Sorry. So Kieran says, is there a process you use for building backlinks, Chris?
Yeah, but I don't share it publicly.
Cool. No worries. If you are, Kieran, if you're not in Mac Digiti's circle, go and find his Facebook group, go find his YouTube channel, and subscribe to his newsletter. He sends cool stuff, and it's not gonna show how you do it, but if you put 2 + 2 + 2 together, you're gonna find out how to do it properly. Just like Chris was saying earlier, Matt is sending emails about strategies. They're not complete, of course. Who's gonna give away how to do something that makes you money for free? And but you can put 2 + 2 together, and it's gonna take you to you can create an SOP, a process for yourself. Jay says, I've never built backlinks and I'm doing pretty well, but like you say, everyone has a right to this, to his and her own opinion. Jay, you don't have to build links. You don't have to. But if you build links, you are going to, one, get out of the sandbox faster if you're doing it properly. And secondly, you can rank for more competitive keywords. I mean, you can write 200 posts and make money and make some money, but you can write 50 posts, and build some links to those 50 posts. You're going to make the same amount of money or even more. You know what I mean? So yeah, you don't have to build links. You can rank without backlinks. I rank without backlinks. I haven't built any backlinks to the Telehandler Planet website. And is ranking number 1 in maps, number 6 now on organic, and it has only the social proof, social network, right? That's all. Kieran says, one side for white hat and one side for black hat. Pete says, what's your take on Google's comment that all guest posts are breaching Google's term condition and not to do them? Go on, Chris, kill it.
I think that has been a position that Google's had for a long time. What was it, like 5 years ago when they said guest posting was dead?
Well, actually, they said it a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah.
Again.
Until I start seeing that you can't build links, like as in like they keep catching people, then I'm not going to believe it.
Well, if you read the Google terms and conditions or terms of service, you see that any backlink that you build, it doesn't matter what kind of backlink it is, it's against
Yeah.
their it's against the service, it's against their policies. So if you build a backlink, even if you outreach now to Chris and say, hey Chris, you know what, I just have a nice article I just wrote now, do you want to check it out? Maybe you link back to it. That's it, you're black hat now because you asked for a link. Right?
Yeah.
In their opinion, in Google's vision, people should find my website, just magically, and then, oh, this Adrian has a nice article, I'm gonna link to it. That doesn't happen unless you are Branding, unless you are Matt Diggity, unless you are Neil Patel or any of these guys, right? That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people have succeeded exactly following Income School's approach, and it's
Sure.
a legitimate approach. It's just not my approach. I feel as if I could make money faster in a different way.
Isn't even Ron Stefanski, when he was on the show, he said, I'm building content for 6 months and then I build a few links. And I don't know if John Dystra is building any links or not, but his approach is like, write as much as you can, throw shit to the wall and see what sticks. I guess that's that's what his approach is. Whereas with backlinks, you build a few pages that you want to rank for because they have search volume, and then you build some links to them, and you're gonna rank. I mean, depending of course on the competition and how many backlinks and how much big pockets do you have. Dante says, I think you answered this question. Dante's Chris says that his favorite team is, well, at least the team that he's using now, is Astra. I'm using Astra as well, by the way. Good theme. Chris is saying that he's full time since past 10 years. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome, bro. Congratulations. Thanks for joining the small people here. So I don't know if you guys have, and as well he says desperation is much more powerful than greed. So I don't know if you guys have any more questions. I'm gonna ask maybe Chris 1 or 2 more questions of mine, and I think we're gonna wrap it up. I still didn't got any. I didn't got shower yet. Just come from work, and go straight. By the way, I was at work with this T-shirt today. And I was a little bit worried because if the boss sees this, he said, maybe he's gonna fire me. But yeah, what he says here, Kieran says, "Do you worry about site speed?"
I'm worried about the update that they're saying they're going to put out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Google's already foreshadowed that they're going to put out a site speed update with that core vitals and all that. When the time comes, it might be a problem. At the moment, I have site speed accelerator from Azoic on one of my sites. The reason I have it on my site is mostly for user experience rather than whether or not it will affect my rankings. So right now I'm not thinking that site speed does affect rankings that much. For my first site, I had load speeds of like 21 seconds and I was still getting hundreds of thousands of visitors a month. So I don't think it hurt me too bad, but we'll see what happens. It's a dynamic situation. Things change all the time. And at some point there might be an update where site speed becomes a much bigger ranking factor. So we need to be prepared for that.
Well, they're just scaring people at the moment. And I guess it's not only scaring people or trying to scare people, but as well, they kind of, by scaring us, they try to say to those lazy webmasters, say, hey, get your shit together, get your site decent in terms of speed, otherwise you're gonna be kicked out. Which when they announced that HTTPS, it was a ranking factor, like a year ago, a year ago I would say. They said that's a ranking factor, but that was at the beginning. That was for a few months until everybody again those lazy webmasters, they had to play ball and get their sites with the with the HTTPS. But after that, it's not important anymore. Now it's not important anymore, only for users, right? Because if you go to a website and there's no padlock on it, then especially if you want to buy things on it. But same thing with the speed. It's just gonna be something that will force webmasters to be in line with the time, with the with the users, that everybody's on the phone, and you need to have a decent site speed. But once everybody's on page, on the same page, I would say, they're gonna forget about that as well. It makes sense as well. It makes the web better, I guess. Um, where are you? Fix says this has been super helpful, guys. Sorry, few things popping up throughout. What did you have to take care of the baby girl? Hey, daddy. And Josh, as I forgot to say, Josh is at work and he was listening to us. So thanks for listening, Josh. I hope it was helpful. Chris says, did anybody notice huge jumps in the serves this week due to the update, which turned out to be a glitch? I lost initially some pages, but everything is back to normal. How about you, Chris?
I didn't notice a thing.
Yeah, I know it's especially if you slept, but when this happened, because if you were sleeping, this happened nighttime if you want, and then when you wake up, everybody was like, what happened? Google update. Oh my goodness. Everybody went nuts.
Yeah.
And you don't understand why. What the hell happened?
Yeah, people were freaking out
I
for like
know.
2 hours, and I was like, I can't handle this. I'm going to turn this off, go for a walk, and then wait for someone to like actually have some legitimate information. But for a while there, it felt like the sky was falling in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Tom says here, thanks for the good show. Good night. Thanks for being here, Tom, buddy. I really appreciate it. Kieran says, thanks, Adrian and Chris. Great stream, and I like your honesty. We love you back, and that's what we try to do: be honest and transparent with what we do. Actually, let me share with you, Chris, and I didn't share this with anybody. Let me see if I still have this one here. So, if you remember, I said I'm gonna put this. Where is it? Where is the Facebook thing? I'm gonna put this live hangout and see if we can bring some people to watch it. So I paid. Where is it? Where is this thing? Where the hell is this thing? Facebook thing. So here, ads manager. So I paid for. I made a campaign to put this ad to bring us some people live and to give us some traffic and some likes and some social signals. And this is how you do the CTR manipulation, even with your websites. I'm not going to get into it, especially if Google is watching this video. But yeah, this is how it is. Look, we reach out, we reach to 4,000 people with $7. It's not bad, and then we have some interaction. It was a great experiment. I thought we're gonna have like just like with Craig Campbell, we're gonna have like 2,000 people, but I think I still need to learn more secrets.
Yeah.
So Chris, before we go, buddy, I really appreciate you for taking you the time to hang out with us and with this awesome community here. Maybe do you have any tips for people who might listen this stream later, or maybe on the podcast? Do you have any tips for people who are beginning, like maybe mindset or whatever tips you have for people who are still in the trenches like you and I?
I guess my only tip, it's the same tip I always give: just learn as much as you can, listen to as many podcasts as you can, watch as many YouTube videos as you can. Just like get obsessed with learning and listening to a whole bunch of different people's perspectives. And there's people out there who've got very different approaches to me, and I would encourage everyone to listen to them as well and make up your own mind. And everyone's got their own little theory of how to sort of navigate this online space, and just listen to everyone else's ideas and pick up a little bit from everyone.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome advice there, because that's exactly true. There's not only one thing that's going to work in SEO. There's many ways you can do it. There's many ways to skin a cat, as you would say. And, just learn from everybody, like Chris said, and, be always applying. If you learn and you don't apply, you didn't do anything. You just wasted your time. So, like Kieran says here in the chat, don't give up. Take care, guys. Keep killing it. Fixes. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight with us. Thanks for your thumbs up. If you did that, do it now. I appreciate it. And I see you in the next live stream, maybe in the Facebook group. There's a Hasta La Vista Boss Facebook group where we can catch up between live streams and, support each other or ask questions or whatever. And Chris, you want to say this because I know you like it?
Oh, I forget how it goes. Oh man, it's slipping my mind now. You're gonna have to do it.
No worry, buddy. Thanks for being here, guys, and stay focused because we're going to get rid of that boss. All right. Thanks for watching.